Welcome to the Breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rembert, avid reader, award-winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamond's Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. Today I want to talk to you about book 14 of a 15-book series by best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author, Kimberla, Lawson, Roby. If you do not know what I'm talking about the Reverend Curtis Black series. And this book is Sin of a Woman. Again, book 14 in the series. And you guys may be saying, oh my goodness, 15 books in the series. Trust me, the way she writes the story, the way she breaks up the characters and introduces new characters, you don't get bored at all. You want to read more. And after I read book 13, which was A Sinful Calling, I had to digest for a minute because it was very packed. It was a very, very good book. This book did not disappoint at all. And you know, it's the Reverend Curtis Black series. He's mentioned maybe one time. This particular book deals with primarily with Dillon's ex-wife, Raven, his ex-mistress, Portia. They have joined forces and started a church of their own. Raven is the pastor. Portia is one of the associate ministers. And so it's primarily about them and their life. And, you know, Raven being the con artist that she is. We definitely know that Raven has not been called to preach. Everybody knows this. Raven knows it. Dillon knows it. I think the church members are unaware of it. However, if they followed her journey, I think that they would know that something wasn't quite right. She wanted to outdo Dillon because, you know, of the divorce. And she wanted, if you recall in book 13, Dillon wanted to outdo his father. So now Raven wants to outdo Dillon. And then you have Portia, who is struggling. She's on a spiritual journey, and she's struggling with some decisions in her life that may not be quite right. And so now she's trying to decide, have I been called, or have I been called to do something other than be in the pulpit? And that was one of the lessons in this book. And I keep picking it up because I always learn so much from Kimberla's books. Just because you have a ministry, or I'll put it this way, everyone has a ministry within them. But that ministry does not necessarily mean you have to be on the pulpit preaching every Sunday morning. Okay, it could be the Boys and Girls Club. It could also be in taking care of a loved one, or you know, your ministry may be in helping other women who have battled, let's say, domestic violence. As a man, your ministry may be that you want to help men who have been raised without a father. You want to now take them under your wing. It could also be that, you know, men who have been incarcerated, you want to help them, you know, to acclimate back into society. These are all ministries because they require a lot of time, a lot of love, you know, and you have to really love your purpose. So that in and of itself is a ministry, and that's mainly what this book was talking about. Dillon does come back midstream in the book. I mean, I won't tell you why. but Dillon just simply being Dillon. But like I said, this book mainly taught me about, ministry not necessarily being in the church. And that was such a common theme throughout singles ministry. For some people, your calling may be, you have a book ministry, whereas, some authors, they don't preach, but they buy their books. And I'm going to, just go ahead and say, Kimberla, this is her ministry. She blesses us with her words and her lessons in her books. So this is just a prime example, and there are several others. Jacqueline Thomas, Ian Joy, Vanessa Miller, now Vanessa Miller Pierce. I could go on and on and on. Michelle Lindo Rice. I could go on and on and on. That is their ministry. So, I've made a post. I'm going to tell you guys. I made a post that said, the moment you realize you've paid $24.95 for a book and you almost finish it in one sitting. This was the book. I just could not put it down. So, of course, you guys know it's a 5-star read from me. And I was fortunate enough to meet Kimberla last October at the Christian Book Lovers Retreat. And this is where I received this book as well as book 13. Well, I received a message from her publicist at Grand Central Publishing, where I was given an advance reader copy for book 15. So you guys stay tuned, because that book is dropping July 30th. And I will be reading it in the next couple of days, and then I will be sharing my thoughts with you about Better Late Than Never, where she is closing out the series. I'm going to be so sorry to see this family go. I feel like I have a vested interest in the Black family. But if you guys have read the series or you've read the book, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me who's your favorite character. Who's your least favorite character? Tell me, some things about the book so we can discuss it. I would love to, because this is one series that will stay in my mind for a very, very, very long time. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video. I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. I also want to thank you for spreading the word about what I'm doing here, as well over as on all the other social media sites. Now, this particular book, I try to tell you guys how I use it towards my goals for 2018 or my challenges. So this book is one of my 30 books in 90 days book challenge. Also, my Goodreads challenge. Also, once I read the next book, I will have completed a series for this year. Also, this was on my shelf, because again, I've had it since October. So off of my TBR, and also catching up with a veteran author. So I don't know, I lost count of how many challenges that was, but one book can serve an array of purposes. So you guys enjoy your reading. Find something interesting. If it's something that you think that I should pick up, let me know, and I'll try to work it to my ever-growing schedule. But to God be the glory. I'm so blessed. And until next time, happy reading and be blessed.